Welcome to Solving Life. I'm Nolan, and with Tesla coming off another jam-packed week, I wanted to give you an overview of all that has happened in case you missed any of it, and what it means for Tesla. To start things off, we'll head across the pond to Tesla's progress at their Berlin plant. On Tuesday, December 8th, Tesla Berlin ran into a slight snafu during the clearing of some trees at their building site, causing them to halt their progress in that area. To quote an article from BBC News, the environmentalist groups say Tesla's deforestation will destroy the habitats of sand lizards and smooth snakes, both of which are protected species. They have also expressed concern that the building work will disturb these reptiles during their winter hibernation. This stop in progress is only temporary, giving government officials the time they need to fully look into it and see if these claims hold any substantial weight and to assess what needs to happen moving forward. Tesla has already cleared around 90 acres of the forest, allowing them to build all of what you see on screen. They have also been granted to deforest 83 additional acres the week before last, and that is where the issues lie. The environmentalists say that the two prospective species of lizard and snake live in this area. Now, Tesla has already made and carried out their plans to move the protected species before they started the deforestation, but the group claims that 2 months is not long enough to move all the lizards and snakes from the area. It looks like this week also brought about the ending to this story. Government officials declared on Thursday, December 10th, that Tesla was able to resume the clearing of trees in this area. Now, to give you some background, this forest is man-made and was created as an industrial zone. This site was actually in the running to being a BMW factory in the early 2000s. But they eventually settled on a different location. Now, while clearing a forest is never something that we as humans like doing, this forest would have been cut down anyway, since its purpose is to be made into cardboard. Tesla has also agreed to plant 3 times the amount of trees they cut down. They have also agreed to use half as much water while construction is underway because of environmental concerns. Overall, this delay was resolved rather quickly and hopefully Tesla can continue on schedule. Moving on to the financials, we have also seen Tesla do another capital raise of $5 billion. On Tuesday the 8th, Tesla announced that it would be doing another at-the-market capital raise, and by Thursday, we got word that Tesla has completed the stock offering the day after it was announced. I love this move by Tesla. With the stock seeming to keep rising without an end in sight, Tesla's valuation is a bit overvalued at the moment, which Elon loves to keep reminding us about. This leaked email really shows the potential for a stark correction in the stock price, potentially always looming in the background. Personally, I don't gamble with my Tesla stocks and will always hold my shares because in 10 to 20 years' time, the company will be worth a lot more than what it is today. And it's not worth the risk of pulling out and waiting for a dip. With the company at a valuation of $600 billion, this raise will have little effect on the stock, especially with the amount of upward pressure that the S&P inclusion brings. There's a lot of speculation that they're doing this capital raise to allow more shares to be bought by those who follow the indexes. But even being conservative and saying that Tesla sold the stock for $600, that would only create about 8.3 million shares. Overall, that's a small amount of the shares that will potentially have to be bought. Elon's comments of this capital raise during his interview with the Wall Street Journal was that this will allow them to be even on a debt-to-equity ratio, and will allow them to maybe pay off some of that debt earlier, or just be ready for whatever comes up. This raising capital to go along with another great quarter should hopefully see Tesla's credit rating go from a B+ to an A. Tesla will also be better positioned to potentially put more money into R&D while developing their 4860 battery, or potentially acquiring another company in the future. Despite what Tesla has been able to do, making a car company successful is very hard, and most go bankrupt while trying. Only Ford and Tesla has been able to avoid bankruptcy, and I can see the statistic changing for one of the companies not named Tesla. We also finally got some delivery numbers from Tesla Shanghai, giving us a small picture of how Q4 is shaping up. This past week, we got the November sales number of 21,604 vehicles. This is great news and progress, as we see a jump of 78% from October. Looking at the year-to-date delivery numbers across all of Tesla at the end of Q3, we get 318,931, which is on track to hit Tesla's delivery guidance of 500,000 vehicles. Everyone's looking to Tesla achieve over 180,000 deliveries, and Shanghai needs to be a big part of that. If they can keep increasing their deliveries in December to somewhere in the 30,000s, I think we'll be able to easily achieve 2020 guidance. Looking at last year's Q4, where we had no Shanghai help or Model Y, we see Tesla being able to achieve 112,000 deliveries. So if that number is able to stay consistent and we add Shanghai's deliveries with a potential 300,000 December month, we get around 64,000 deliveries coming out of Shanghai. So if we stay consistent at Fremont and add those Shanghai deliveries, we get about 176,000 deliveries, which is very close to our target of 180 plus. Hopefully Fremont will also see some growth and the Model Y production should help with that. I'm really excited to see how the actual numbers shake out for Q4 because it'll be a window of what we will achieve in 2021. I'm really hoping for Tesla to be able to reach the 1 million cars in a year milestone. The amount of growth Tesla is aiming for in the next 5 years is outrageous, and people still don't fully see them achieving these numbers. Most analysts do not believe the goals Tesla has set out for themselves, and that brings us to our next topic. We have a downgrade from buy to hold from New Street Research, which is seen as very bullish on Tesla. The overall feel of the note isn't really negative or that anything has changed to why they do not like the stock. They still believe that the stock has great upside and they forecast to be worth $1,200 a share at the end of 2025. They believe that the short-term success and gains are already priced in, and they are just advising that any new purchases be made after a pullback in the stock price. I think that just goes back to the point we covered earlier in that this recent run-up has really just made the company overvalued in the short term. It's really going to be interesting to see how this story develops and see what happens to the stock in the short term. New Street Research analyst Pierre also only forecasts Tesla achieve 2.8 million deliveries in 2026. Now, if you recall, Elon has gone on record saying that by 2030 he wants to deliver around 20 million cars. Elon said that this number can be very off depending on a lot of exponential growth. But if he is in the ballpark, I would hope that we would be able to eclipse 3 million deliveries after 6 years. The last bit of news we got this past week was battery company QuantumScape trying to become huge competition to Tesla. Their breakthrough in solid-state lithium batteries have them boasting that it will offer higher battery density and faster charging than what Tesla is able to produce. Adding JB Straubel to the board members also have Tesla fans in a tizzy, thinking that they found the next battery company, while also worried that they will take down Tesla. For me, battery technology is a very complicated sector, and I think it's almost impossible to have a definite position based off what we know as of now, on whether or not this is something that is feasible or just another pipe dream. Regardless, they have a lot of work ahead of them, and I'm going to be doing my due diligence to see what kind of company QuantumScape will become. What we know right now is that VW is a huge investor and plans to use this technology in their cars in the future. In their press release statement, they made the claim that they hope to have these batteries in cars by 2025. With that, we can infer that they will be pre-revenue for the next 4 to 5 years. Looking out to the future, QuantumScape has a self-projected earnings of around $6 billion in 2028, which is a lot higher than their current valuation today. Looking at this other slide from their presentation, we see that they plan on having their batteries be able to make $300,000 cars with around 300 miles of range that lasts for about 12 years or 150,000 miles. Now, that really doesn't excite me. I used to drive a 12-year-old car in a 2008 Acura TL that had about 170,000 miles, and that thing still purred. It had a lot of life left, and it's going to serve its current owner really well for the next 5+ years. I personally would not buy a car that I couldn't count on to last for more than 150,000 miles. Also, cars with quantum-state batteries will come out in 5 years. By then, Tesla will have their $25,000 model that will last a lot longer. I know that Tesla is planning on having that model last for more than 150,000 miles, because they hope to have this model become the backbone of their autonomous taxi network. The average taxi cab in a big city will drive, on average, 70,000 miles a year, and is expected to last around 6 years. If you have a grasp on basic math, you can see that number will come out to well over 150,000. To me, I think Tesla is aiming higher and has an edge of now, but QuantumScape is going to be a company that I keep a close eye on, and I look forward to learning more about them. That will wrap up my first week in the life of Tesla series. Let me know in the comment section below if you are planning on investing in QuantumScape. Make sure you zap that like button and subscribe to be informed when more content becomes available. Thanks for watching. I'm Nolan, and that's Solve Life.